Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome, Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, into another reading that I normally do after every 7 to 10 days. Okay, if you have been following my earlier readings, you will know how I check the energies. I will use two different decks, one for the Divine Masculine and the other for the Divine Feminine. I'll cut the deck only once and we'll go from there with regards to a couple of questions, the answers of which we will look for from my spirit world. Okay, so this is the deck for the Divine Masculine. I'll cut it once, and each card will be clarified by the word Oracle. Okay, this will be from the 31st of August until the next 6 to 7 days. Please keep in mind that we have the Lionsgate portal that is going to happen on the 8th of August 2021, okay, which is a major portal. The Four of Swords for the Divine Feminine, right? She is in the Divine Masculine's mind. There is a lot of healing, definitely, that's going on between the two of them at this point in time, is what I see. Because somewhere the Divine Feminine is feeling a little bit lost emotionally, is also what I'm getting from the cards in here or from the energy. Okay, let's see what's going on here in this journey of the twins. The twin flame journey, guys, very difficult journey. We all know that. Okay, let's move into the reading. We have both the decks ready for the questions and the answers that will come out in this reading in here. Now keep in mind, this is also the energy that will affect the Lionsgate portal. The one that I'm doing before the Lionsgate portal and the one that I'll be doing after the Lionsgate portal happens, okay? So first energy, let's see, is of the mind for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. What is the mind energy of the Divine Masculine? What is the mind energy of the Divine Feminine? What is the heart, the feelings of the Divine Masculine? What is the heart or the feeling of the Divine Feminine? The next question would be how each twin sees this connection from their perspective. So how does the Divine Masculine see this connection from his perspective? And how does the Divine Feminine see this connection from her perspective? The next question is the message the Divine Masculine has for his twin. What is the message for his twin? And what is the message for her twin here? Okay. The next is the challenge or the obstacle for the Divine Masculine. The challenge or the obstacle for the Divine Masculine, the challenge or the obstacle for the Divine Feminine. The next is the hope that the Divine Masculine has. What is he hoping for in this connection or even for himself? What's the hope? What is the hope for the Divine Feminine, either in this connection or for herself? The next question and the final is the overall energy of the Divine Masculine here and the overall energy of the Divine Feminine here. Okay, the bottom of the deck, let's see. I love this energy, guys. Look at the bottom of the deck. Undeniably, the energies are moving at a beautiful pace. Okay, The divine feminine has the judgment energy. So she's completely awake. Okay. She's completely awake. She had been, like I said, there has been that sorrow, the grief, the disappointment, everything that she has been or had been going through in herself, with regards to this journey. And somewhere, she has heard the call of the universe here. Okay, which is where she is waking back, coming back to life. It's a big spiritual awakening, is more what I'm getting for the divine feminine. It's a big time spiritual awakening. It's a kind of a rebirth where she is slowly but surely discarding her old self energy that she had been in grief, disappointment, lot of sorrow about whatever had happened in her or with her in this journey of the twin flame, right? So there is a big kind of spiritual spiritual rebirth, more so I'm getting from this judgment card. Definitely 100% for the divine feminine. For the divine masculine, it's the chariot energy. So it is a beautiful energy where it is telling me that he is not yet moving. I mean, like he's not driving the vehicle, but he is getting into the driver's seat. Okay, which is talking about him getting ready. Him getting ready to move. Okay, so he's taking, um, yeah, he's already in the chariot, halfway in the chariot. So it's a matter of him getting into the chariot and moving, right? So he's already in the chariot because now he's coming to the point of understanding that it's high time. It's high time. He has to do something about this because here she is. She has woken up to a lot of things that has happened in her life. Like I told you, it's a huge spiritual growth, awakening, epiphany, whatever you like to call that, right? But it's a complete rebirth of the divine feminine. And the divine masculine is getting ready to come into the chariot, or it's already halfway there. It's just a matter, like I said, it's just a matter of him moving into the chariot completely and taking off, right? So there is a lot of improvement in the energy that is showing up in here at the bottom of the deck. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love this. I love this. This is like two major for both of you guys. Two major. And when it's talking about two major, it's definitely talking about a huge change of understanding, lessons, energetically moving in a different direction. Like, like it's moving both of you guys. If you see from the macro level, both of you guys are moving in different direction. I mean, in directions um, that is right direction for you, right? So in your case, divine feminine, you are waking up from a lot of grief, pain, sorrow, heartbreak, everything that has gone into your life. So you are moving out of that old direction. And the divine masculine is moving out of an old cycle of his life into a new direction altogether. He's getting ready for that. So both you guys are moving, basically. Both you guys are moving. You are moving a little quicker, divine feminine. The divine masculine is moving a little bit slowly because you are a lot ahead of him. You have always been a lot more ahead of the divine masculine, as I have seen in the readings. So it is but natural that you have reached judgment, whereas he is in that chariot energy, right? So there has been, you are near the completion of a cycle as well, whereas he is, in the middle of that cycle, getting ready to move out of the old energy and getting ready to move into the new energy. So it is that kind of a feeling or the energy that I'm getting out of these two cards in here, but we'll see more. Okay, now first let's look into the mind energy of the divine masculine. What is the mind energy of the divine masculine? The three of sword. Yeah, so he is still very much in the mind. There's a lot of this third party situation is more I'm getting, guys, for this man here. Lot of outside third party interferences, karmic situations could be as well, but definitely a lot of third party situation that has given him a lot of pain in the mental space. Okay, and that energy is very much still lingering in the mind for him. And this is not only with the third party as such. What I'm getting is how this third party energy has affected this connection with you as well, is also the painful circumstance of his realization in the mind. In the mind, this is because you see the heart over here. So there is this connection with his heart, where he knows that because of this three swords, there has been a lot of problem that has happened between you and him in this connection here, that is connecting both of you in your heart space, right? Where there are three swords still dangling over this heart of his. Because, this problem is that, like I said, this energy is still lingering because he's constantly thinking about this, right? He's constantly working on this energy of this third party kind of situation here, where now he feels that there has been a lot of mistakes that he has previously done. It's only because of this third party situation with you, right? Where he is also finding it difficult. What I'm getting, guys, is that he is also finding it difficult to forgive himself completely because of the hurt, the pain, the sorrow, the grief that he had to encounter, or he is still encountering because of this situation in the mind space here, right? So, yeah, but at the same time, excuse me, at the same time, he is also trying to get away from this situation. He is trying to release himself from this pain in the heart and the mind, right? It's a combination of the three of swords. It's the combination of the heart and the mind together in this connection that is sitting in the logical space, in the mental space, from where he is trying to seek a way out. But he's being blocked a little bit because there's this lot of cloud around this situation that is preventing him from releasing this energy completely. Because, like I said, that this energy is not just with regards to third party. Yes, they could have done a lot of problems or could have created a lot of problems in his life for sure. But it is also a fact, guys, that he is experiencing that pain more so. It's because whenever he gets back into this energy or wherever, because this energy is very much there, right? So whenever he is thinking about this, it's triggering an effect of pain more in the heart because of your connection with him. And that is the energy I'm getting out of this Three of Swords in here, in the mind space. Let's see what the Three of Swords has to say with the word oracle. Please talk to me about the Three of Swords here, please. Yeah, it is, it's like a triggering effect of his realization of the past. He is not being able to get over it. So he could be even blaming himself for this situation in his mind, where he is feeling drowned in, that kind of a feeling where it's telling him that he shouldn't have done this, whatever happened between the two of you, right? But at the same time, because of this third party situation, he could not completely ignore that third party, or he could not completely push that third party away. But at the same time, he could not forget you, or he still cannot forget you. So this is a pull and push, ebb and flow between him and you, and between him and the third party. So he's probably even blaming himself for having hurt you in this, or for having dragged you in his life, when he knew that this connection of his third party situation was there, right? So he could be even blaming himself for whatever happened between the two of you. See, with the card of the with the card of the Hangman, the Neptune card of enlightenment, there is a lot of, he's into a lot of dreams about this situation, guys. Lot of dreams, lot of spirituality, realizing what has happened in here, getting a lot of enlightenment, being the dark night of the soul, because he is the ruler of enlightenment now with the Neptune card, right? So there is a lot of enlightenment about this third party, or the Three of Sword energy, about what happened, which is where the magnifying glass is, that it's helping him to get more clarity into the situation of this pain, right? So there could be a lot of things that he is discovering slowly as he is looking into finer prints, looking into the details to understand the situation even better, right? He's probably doing a lot of research on this, finding out important details about this situation, because I get a feeling that this third party situation, apart from you being in the picture, Divine Feminine, it is also a war between him and the third party directly, right? So this is where he is being enlightened upon a lot of things that he might have overlooked in the past, did not pay attention to details. When people did something, he just was okay with that. He did not go down into the depth to seek more clarity. Somebody must have come and told him, oh, I need this or I need that. And he must have said, okay, go ahead, do that. And in the end result of that whole situation was nothing but disappointment. Now, that has come into the place, is what I'm getting, guys, is that situation is now coming into the place where he's not giving in so easily to any kind of demand from the third party situation, right? Because he has suffered. He knows this is also a lesson, that from where he is growing into his spiritual enlightenment, that is coming up to tell him that he cannot afford to do exactly the same thing that he had been doing previously with his tribe or connection or third party situation. So now he is getting more careful. He is becoming more careful. So if somebody is going to ask for something, because remember, he is enlightened, he is also spiritually awake now. People might probably not see that happening, but it is what it is, right? He might not show the world how much he knows, but spiritually, he is very much awakened, right? Because he is the ruler of enlightenment. That's Neptune. He knows a lot. He's a lot more enlightened than what he has been before in his life. Where now, anything and everything that the third party is connected with, he will get more clarity on the situation before eventually agreeing to something if he has to do for them or for anybody. So he's not giving in that easily to anybody anymore. That's what I'm getting. He's becoming more cautious about the whole situation. He's becoming more cautious because he's gaining more clarity and insight into his past action of problems that happened was because of him, right? Where he didn't pay attention to finer print or details or important details. He did not examine things in the right way. And that's where this entire Three of Swords has happened. So people could have taken money from him, people could have taken advantage of him, anything could have happened. Basically, anything could have happened, which is where he's coming into this picture of complete spiritual enlightenment, guys. Okay, let's move on to the mind space of the divine feminine. What's the mind space of the divine feminine? The Queen of Wands. You showed up in the last couple of reading as the Queen of Wands. Even in the previous reading that I had done, if you remember, if not, just go back and recheck on that. This time you come up in the mind space, divine feminine. So in the mind space, coming up or showing up as the Queen of Wands tells me that you are very, very stubborn about some situation in your life. You know, whether call it a compromise, call it anything, like whatever that situation is, you're being stubborn. And this is the same kind of energy I got from the other reading, previous reading as well. Okay, but at the same time, so the mind space is more independent as well. You're learning to give up a lot of things that you probably had been holding on as well. Being stubborn about things, that also could be the part of the story, right? So you're probably learning to understand yourself better, about your own individual power, right? That you can by yourself be more independent, more progressive than what you probably have thought about yourself, divine feminine, right? So the mind space with the Queen of Wands is clearly talking about you understanding your responsibilities, you understanding your worth, very important, of who you are, you understanding your value in life, right? Learning to give up things that no longer feels important to you, concentrating more on your career, on your work, maybe some of you in your on your home front as well, trying to balance both together, as well as friends, relatives, anybody, you know, because the Queen of Wands is a mix of that situation where she has a lot of courage. So the mind is becoming more courageous, right? The mind is becoming more courageous, lot of determination in yourself, in the mind as well, that whatever you are going to do, you will finish it, or whatever you start, you will end it. So the mind is definitely in a very, very strong position for you, divine feminine. Very, very strong position for you. You're learning a lot about yourself. You're definitely learning to value your own worth, because you know that you are more than capable than what you have thought that you could do in your life. So now, as you are moving forward with your challenges that you have had, with the problems you had to face, you are coming to your own terms and conditions of understanding yourself even better. And it's also the mind space that is talking about you being independent in yourself, you knowing how much you value your independence as well, right? And that you don't want to give up your independence because of some XYZ situation. So your mind space is becoming more, it's becoming strong. That's what I would like to say, because this Queen of Wands in the last couple of reading has been shifting her positions. And now she has appeared in the mind space. So it clearly tells me that you guys have been moving from one point to the other until in this reading you show up in yourself, in the mind space as the Queen of Wands. Okay, let's look at the Queen of Wands, guys. So you are absolutely determined. Yeah, there's a lot of determination in yourself. Very, very high determination. You could be a little bit stubborn because a lot of determination creates a lot of stubborn element as well. But it's all in your mind because you're learning about you, that whatever you want, you can make that happen. Divine feminine, really. The Queen of Wand, whatever she wants, she's esoteric, right? So whatever she wants, she can really make that happen. So the mind is not playing games with you. The mind is directing you in the right way. In the right way. Yeah, see Pluto, the great revealer, a rebirth, transformation of the mind, heeding the call. See, that's where the judgment is. That's why you're showing up at the bottom of the deck with the judgment card, right? It's because of your mind. There's a lot of awakening, guys. Lot of awakening. Lot of clearing, lot of purging, lot of awakening, lot of renewal. Lot of transformation, divine feminine in the mind. I'm so happy for you guys. Really, this is beautiful. This is beautiful, right? That you're learning to accept the person you truly are and you can be. You're learning to accept your self-worth. You're learning to accept the fact that people respect you for being an independent woman in this world, right? And they look up to you for doing what you have done. And you are determined to prove your worth in front of everybody. That's your mind energy. So there is a lot of clearing, transformation, rebirth, purging, everything that's happening all at the same time with Pluto that's affecting you or playing around in your mind. Guys, beautiful, beautiful energy. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's look at the heart for the divine masculine. What is the heart energy for the divine masculine? The devil. Yeah. You see, this is because of the mind. The Three of Swords is creating the devil energy in the heart for this man, right? And this is all with regards to this third party situation. It has got nothing to do with you, divine feminine. It has got everything to do with the third party situation. There is a lot of restriction that he is facing that is, restricting his heart from opening up at this point in time towards this connection or even towards people in general. Yeah, the heart is very much restricted, guys. And this is because of this pain. It's because of the pain he's going through in the mind, right? Which I told you, it's linked directly to the heart chakra. And that is why the heart chakra is being affected with this devil energy. Lot of toxicity, lot of restriction in the heart. Please talk to me about the devil here. The Tower. Okay. That's interesting. So what they're telling me, guys, is for the divine masculine here, this is the energy he had in the heart, or he still has, right? But there is going to be a shift here with the Tower. There is going to be a shift here with the Tower. When he's going to cut away from this third, this is got, like I said, this is more, what I'm getting is more with regards to this third party situation. That he's feeling that restriction, sorry, excuse me. He's feeling that restriction in the heart. That is where he wants to be alone. There's a tower. He wants to stand alone. He doesn't want that restriction anymore. He wants to get out of this restriction in the heart. He wants to clear his heart, guys. But this is the problem here. It's because of the mind, right? He's finding it a little bit difficult to clear his heart at this point in time because he wants to, but this is the problem because what I think is happening, guys, okay, this is also what I'm getting. What I think is happening with the divine masculine is that he's discovering a lot of things about this third party situation now. He's discovering a lot of things that earlier he hadn't paid attention to, right? He didn't pay attention to, or he had feigned ignorance. It could be anything. When he had overlooked, overseen fine prints, finer details. But now, and because of this pain, the more he is digging into this situation of this third party situation, he is discovering more information here, which I told you is directly affecting his mind and heart. Okay, because it's like, when somebody doesn't know something, like they say, ignorance is bliss. That's good, because you don't know anything. But then when all of a sudden you just get up and discover a lot of things, you're blaming yourself for not doing your due diligence. Let me put it that way. So what is happening here is what I feel, I'm getting that energy out of these two cards side by side. What I think is happening to this man here is that he is blaming himself today for not having done his due diligence. That's one. And the second part of the story is that because he is discovering more facts, he is discovering more clarity as he is digging, doing his research. There could be fraud, there could be deceit, there could be anything that has happened in this third party situation. The more restriction in the heart space is happening for him, right? Where now he feels that he doesn't need anything, but he has to, he wants to stand all alone. He really doesn't need people. He wants to get out of this restriction. He doesn't like that pain. He doesn't like those third party people who have been restricting his movement, who have been blocking him, blocking his heart as well, giving him wrong directions towards life in general, right? So the more he's discovering and getting clarity of his prior understanding, he's getting into that energy where he knows that his heart is in the devil energy. There is a lot of negativity and toxicity in the heart that he now has to remove and stand alone by himself. But this is the problem that, he's kind of fighting with this situation here at this point in time because of this situation of this mind here, right? Let's look at the tower here. There is some kind of experience in the heart that he wants to move out of from this pain. But at the same time, the tower, please. But at the same time, the Queen of Fire. See, this is what it is. He wants to become like you, like I told you in the last reading too. There is a lot of you mirroring one another, more so of the divine masculine, mirroring you, divine feminine, right? So he knows that in the heart space, is still restricted. He's probably feeling a lot of toxicity as well in the heart space of what he has done with you also in the past. And, there is this kind of energy here between the mind and the heart where, like I told you previously, that he's blaming himself. He's also blaming the third party to a large extent because he knows that what he has done with you was totally wrong. So, this is where the problem is not being able to completely open his heart towards you because he knows what has happened previously has not only hurt you but has also hurt him, right? So, his heart is not being able to jump out and show you that cup or give you that offer right away because of this, because he has to clear that. He knows that. He has to clear that problem in his heart with that strength like you and be generous to give you an offer or be generous in some kind of creativity, being hospitable towards you, right? Being open, being active. He needs to clear the heart. But he is finding it a little because he wants to be like you, like the Queen of Wands. He wants to have a lot of strength back in the heart, but because of this situation with the third party, which is coming up on the surface for the divine masculine, he is finding this is like a combined energy between the heart and the mind that is playing and acting upon him. So he's not being able to be very generous with you right away. He's not being able to be very showing you the caring attitude until he can clear the heart space. So it's going to take him a little while, guys, to be open and active with you, Divine Feminine, or be open and active just like you. Because you are the person who is open and active towards your change in the mind, right? So this is where he's gathering that strength from you, and he's trying to imbibe that strength from you in his heart space as well. That's what is happening. Where he can, like you, throw away the responsibility, throw away the pain, throw away the burden, and be strong like you. That's what he's trying to do in the heart space. Okay, let's look at the heart space for the Divine Feminine. The Page of Cups. Okay. So your part of the story in the heart space is Divine Feminine, is you're waiting for that offer, right? You're waiting for that open, caring relationship in the heart. You're open to receiving a new emotional experience that you want to receive from him. Okay? And you are very much in the heart space. Your heart is opening up to a new emotional experience. You want to enjoy life. You want to take this beautiful journey and have fun with it, with emotions, right? So you are, you're in that energy where you want to be surprised by this man in here, when all of a sudden he'll come and tell you something and you will be like jumping out of the skin with a kind of shock, that new emotional shock and experience of something beautiful, whether it's an apology, a gratitude, a little flirtatious energy. It can be anything for anybody, right? But your heart is open to receiving something here, 100%. And he's finding it difficult to bring that energy to you because of the devil. Because he also could be scared. He also could be scared in becoming open and showing you that caring attitude because of this third party situation of what has happened here before. Because he's getting a lot more clarity into his own doings of the past, right? So this is where he's also finding it difficult. So until he can clear that energy with the Tower and bring back that strength to come towards you, he won't be able to come towards you. But you're very much in that energy in the heart, Divine Feminine, where you want to receive back the change, the transformation, because you're moving out of some kind of difficult energy. There is a rebirth in yourself, in the mind and in the heart too, from the very start point in the heart. You're not like, you're not in the Queen of Cups energy right away in the heart. You're in the Page of Cups energy. But at the same time, it's a start of the emotional part of the story in the heart, which had completely shut off at one point in time. Right? Let's look at the Page of Cups in here. Excuse me. Please talk to me about the Page of Cups here. And the problem is that he doesn't know that, right? So he is restricting his advances towards you because of this, because he thinks of you as being very strong and determined of his past, when he feels that he is not, that you have not been able to forgive him for his past action. So he is scared too. That's why his heart is very restricted. Let's look at the Page of Cups. Yeah, the Church, right? Programming. You're changing your understanding in the heart, guys. You're changing your understanding. It's your collective consciousness that is bringing back a start of emotion part of the story in the heart. You know, you could have been thinking a lot about marriage and family values and religion and dogma and principles. You know, that was your collective consciousness. That was your tradition. That was your programming. That you had been taught to learn and understand that you just cannot be in a journey like this. If you like a man or if you love a man, you have to marry that person. You have to be called as the wife, not as the mistress, right? So, excuse me, guys. So your programming was very much based upon your understanding that if you have to live or stay with this journey or in this journey, you have to be a married person. And then you cannot show your emotion to somebody in your life, even though you love that person, but you cannot show that emotion to that person because you're not married to him, or the, you know, or family expects you to restrain yourself, right, from giving or showing emotions to people or to the divine masculine without being married to him, where he can just treat you as a mistress and not somebody that he has married. But now you're saying you don't care about that principle. You don't care about that dogma. You don't care about that tradition or that belief, what people have told you or people expect out of you, divine feminine. If you love somebody, you are determined to carry that love forward. So your mind is changing to becoming more independent in your thinking. From all that, I told you this before, becoming more independent in your thinking, that you don't care what others are thinking about you or what others feel that you are to the divine masculine. Because many of you guys out in the world, or many of us guys out in the world, we don't know about this journey. To us, if a person doesn't get married to somebody, that person is a mistress or a girlfriend, but not a spouse. So in certain cultures, in certain traditions, that is not acceptable, even till date, right? So that is where the point of the story is, that where you had been in the heart, you had been taught and programmed, divine feminine, to believe that you need a sacred union or a marriage to make this journey happen, from where you're coming to your own emotional understanding. It will be quite a surprise to you as well, as you discover that you don't have to get married to somebody. You can remain in your authority, in your strength. You can be a determined person, you can be an independent person, but at the same time, you can still continue in this journey of the twin flame with your divine masculine, right? No matter what people think about you, no matter what people see, in you, or no matter what people talk about you behind your back. You don't care because at one point, like I said, at one point, your collective consciousness was programmed to believe in marriage. But now your collective consciousness is being programmed to think independently. It's a rebirth in your mind. Don't forget, Divine Feminine. So you are coming to the point of understanding that no, I don't need to be married. I can still continue to be the Divine Feminine in this journey. And both of us can actually have our individual characteristics to make things happen, right? You don't need to really tie the knot, go around the fire or whatever that story is about the dogma, the principles. So you're coming to your understanding emotionally that what you need from this journey is emotional fulfillment more so than all this marriage and religion and dogma and principles and conscious programming and traditions and all that story, right? So this is where your understanding is. And his understanding is that he is restricting himself. Maybe this is also a point of the story, guys, now that I'm seeing it. He is also being restricted to coming towards you because he thinks that if he opens his heart towards you, you might ask him for a commitment, right? You might ask him for a commitment because he's scared, because he might have seen you before and he thinks about you in that same way of what he has seen you before, like exactly the way you do about him as you have seen him before, right? So this is also probably the reason why he's restricting his movement. He is not letting you go. This is the dark side of the lovers, right? So in his heart, you're very much present. He's not letting you go. He's not leaving you. He's not forgetting you. No, no, no. Nothing of that sort is happening. He's still very much holding you in himself, but it's the dark side of the lover's energy in the heart. He's not opening up completely to you because until he can clear his doubt as well about the situation, about what you want from this relationship, he will not be able to move forward towards you in the heart space, right? Because this is exactly, he doesn't know how you're changing, guys. He really doesn't have a clue on that. So he is still very much holding his energy with his old understanding here until the tower happens, and this is where he realizes maybe that you have completely changed. That is what it is. Until the tower happens, there's going to be a shift here. Until the tower happens, when he suddenly will realize that you have completely changed in yourself. That's the point. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the story, guys, which is how does he see this connection from his perspective? Okay, let's see that. How does he see his connection? The Three of Pentacles. So the way he sees this connection, guys, is that there is a scope in this connection for expansion. There is, right? He knows this connection can only grow and expand. This is the way he sees this connection, basically. So he's kind of planning on that. He's kind of planning and working on that part of the story with the help of some other people, some mapping out some new direction in life, right? Where he's completed 2 pentacles already and he's working on the 3rd pentacle. So there are 2 pentacles that he has already worked upon in the story. And he's working on the 3rd pentacle here, mapping out some kind of direction on the 3rd pentacle here, where there are 2 other people present in his life who is helping him to map out and chalk out the right details of this expansion here, right? So the way he sees this connection is that this connection can only grow. This connection has a wide scope. of expansion, provided he can work on this story in the right way. So there is a teamwork here between him and some other people. There is definitely a teamwork here, a planning out, some kind of plan in effect here, the way he sees this connection, right? So let's look at the Three of Pentacles here. Yeah, woman, see, this is where you are. He wants to expand this connection because he knows that this connection can only grow with you. And this is what he wants to do with you. He wants to expand this connection into a teamwork with you. But right now, what he is doing is he is kind of mapping out, chalking out the details. He is not yet completely there. Right? He is working on the third pentacle here. So there are a couple of things that he is looking into. The way he sees this connection is the way it will grow with you if only he can do the right teamwork with you in this connection. And that is what he is focused on. As he discovers that you have changed, as he discovers that you have moved out of that energy where you wanted to get married, have that ring, put the ring on the finger, without which you will not be able to move with him. You know, that kind of feeling that nothing will move until we get married, until you commit to me, until you come to me and make a commitment, right? So now he's looking at this. The moment he realizes that you have changed, guys, Divine Feminine, let me tell you that. The moment he realizes that you have changed your programming towards yourself and towards this connection, that is exactly when he will start to work with you in the right way. Because he knows this connection can only grow with you and not decrease. It can only increase. And he will have to increase this connection with you as a part of you being a part of his team here. Right? That is how he sees this connection happening. And this will happen the moment the Tower happens and it dawns upon him what is the change that has happened with you as a person, as an individual here. Okay? Let's look at the way you see this connection, Divine Feminine. Holy, the Three of Swords. So, the way you see this connection, guys, is again the third party, right? 3 and 3. So both of you guys are in that 3 energy, which is talking about, look at the mirroring here. He is trying to expand this. He is trying to walk out of the third party connection. And he's finding it, like, you know, he's working on the third pentacle, right? So this is also a third party situation with him too, that he wants to move out of and expand the situation with you as you being a part of his life and team. And you see this connection in the Three of Swords energy. You see this connection as him being still there, involved with the third party. So that is how you are viewing this connection at this present time. Let's look at the Three of Swords. Because you are being very clear, Divine Feminine, that you will not join hands with him until he can clear the third party situation. Yeah, mortar and pestle. Because you believe that the third party situation is very bad. Very bad. Some of you even believe that they have done spell works or have given potions to the Divine Masculine. Some of you believe that he has been under some kind of spell. Okay? Where there has been a lot of alchemy that has happened. between him and the third party, where things have broken down, where people, this outside interferences have created a lot of problems. And you also believe that, some of you also believe that they have been doing some kind of spell work on you or on the divine masculine. Okay, so you are very clear about this situation, that you are not going to blend yourself with the third party. You're not going to blend or have any kind of things to do with the third party situation. No, you don't want to, right? Because you believe they are evil and they have created a lot of pain and hurt and grief in your life, and you want to keep away from them. So you're not willing to blend or brew or do any kind of alchemy to make things happen. You don't want to change, right? You don't want to change this third party situation because you don't want to be a part of that group, or you don't want to be a part of that environment, because you believe they are evil people or evil situations, and you don't want to be a part of that. Very simple. So this is what your situation is, the way you look at this connection from your perspective, right? So if he has to come to you, he has to come to you minus the third party situation. You're very clear. And that is what he knows. That if he has to build a team with you, if he has to expand this connection with you, he has to come to you in the right shape and form. If he comes to you with this Three of Sword energy, you're going to send him back, because you are not a part and parcel, or he cannot make you a part and parcel of that group. You will not blend yourself with that situation. No, you will not blend yourself. You will not allow yourself to blend with that third party situation. You want to keep away from that situation because, like I said, you believe they are bad people. That's what you firmly believe, and you know that, divine feminine. Okay. Next one is the message that the divine masculine has for you. What is the message the divine masculine has for you? The King of Cups. Look at this. Beautiful. He's thinking. He wants to come with that cup of love. He hasn't accepted. He hasn't pulled the cup in his hand as yet. But the cup is floating on top of him, and he's thinking about the situation. What he can do to show you his trust. Because again, remember, this third party situation has created a lot of trust issue between the two of you, and he knows that. And this is also with this Three of Pentacles, he is trying to rectify that situation as well with you, right? So now his message is, I'm thinking about this. I want to come forward and give you that cup, but I'm not sure if you're going to take it from me, right? So at this point in time, he is in doubt. He's in doubt. If you are going to trust him, or if he can make you believe that he is trustworthy. Yeah, he's in doubt. That is a message. But everything about him is all about love. That's his message, that, he cannot go above the King of Cups with emotions. That is the ultimate height of his emotional intelligence. He cannot go beyond that. Right? But the problem with him right now is that of trust, belief. Because of whatever happened here. He doesn't know, like I said before. He doesn't know if you can believe him, trust him back, guys. That's a message. That he loves you. Like unconditionally, he loves you. but he doesn't know if you're going to believe what he has to say to you. Let's look at the King of Cups here. Please talk to me about the King of Cups. Excuse me. Yeah, he's also looking at how he can make you emotionally happy. It's the same fish that you have in the heart space. And the same fish he has here too. Right? So, but the problem is that he wants to communicate with you as well. That's the energy I'm getting. He wants to communicate with you as well. But, again, there's a but. He doesn't know if you're going to trust him. That's a problem. Because of this fox. Because of what he has done before. Because now he believes that you look at him as a fox. Right? You look at him as a person who does things because of his self-interest. You look at him as a person who is deceitful. You look at him as a person who is crafty and cunning. And he knows that. Right? So the message to you is, Divine Feminine, that I'm not that. I'm the King of Cups. Yes, I could have made mistakes, but I'm not this kind of a fox that you have made me out to be. Really, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, guys, but it is such a strong message. I'm like, I'm not laughing at you people, but I'm just laughing at the way this message is resounding even to me. Then he thinks like that because that is the trust issue. He doesn't know if you can trust him back because he feels that this is how you look at him. Honestly. So his message is, can you please trust me back? Really, I'm not a fox. I'm not a fox. Yes, I could have done crafty things. I could have been cunning. I could have been sly before. I could have worked towards my self-interest. But now I have changed. I'm the King of Cups. But still, I'm not being able to come forward and let you know the truth because you are holding me in this image. You have fixed an image on me, and that's of the fox, right? And until I can, remove that image from in front of you, I won't be able to come towards you in this way. Because the moment I'm trying to come towards you, I'm getting stuck in this image. Right? Because this is who you think I am, but I'm not that person. That's what he's trying to give you. The message is trying to tell you that. Let's look at what your message is, guys, towards your twin, Divine Feminine. 7 of Wands. So your message is, prove yourself now. Prove yourself that, okay, if you're telling me I'm not the fox, if you're telling me I am the King of Cups, if you're telling me I am trustworthy, you have to learn to believe in me, prove it. That's your message. Prove it. I don't have a problem. That's what you're telling him. But stand up for what you believe is right. Fight for it. Prove it. That's what you're telling him, Divine Feminine. Just don't sit there and fix your head on this image. If you know that this is your image today, that's your message. If you know this is your image today, prove me wrong. Fight for me. Stand up for what you believe is right. Have the gods. That's your message. Right? Because there are people around you who are your enemies, your adversaries, who are not letting you move forward. So have the goals to fight them for me. Prove that you love me. Right? That's what you're telling him. Prove that you love me. Show me your guts. Show me your guts that you can do anything for me. Even fight those people especially the third party, fight those people around you to come to me. That's your message. Your message is very, very, very clear, Divine Feminine. Let's look at the Seven of Wands. Yeah. Steady movement forward. You know what you're telling him is be on track. Get back on track. Don't fight each and every battle. That's your message too. Don't fight each and every battle. Cherry pick. Pick your battles, but fight. Prove your point to me, right? But be on your track. Go steadily, move steadily forward. Go the distance. That's what you're telling him. Go the distance, right? Be on track. Don't fight every battle with other people, but at the same time, you have to stand up for what you believe is right. So if that means you tell them that you want to go somewhere else, go. Right? Go. Go. Be on a steady forward movement. Go, be on track. Go the distance. With the eagle, it's calling for a clear vision of what you have done before, where you probably had the opportunity to move and you didn't. That's your message. So now challenge your own status quo. Prove me wrong that you are not a fox. Prove me wrong that you are not cunning. Prove me wrong that you are not crafty. And how do you do that? By challenging your own status quo. Getting a clear vision of what your past has been, what your present is, and what your future will be if you do not take the stand to stand up for what you believe is right for you. So your message to him is challenge your own status quo. Don't say, I think I can. Do it. Do it. No, don't come and tell me, oh, I think I can. I think I will. No, 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 no. If you want to come across to me, you don't say, I think I can. You have to challenge your own status quo. You are getting an opportunity again. There is some new hope, new perspective that's coming back into our lives. So take this opportunity to clear yourself. Don't say, I think I can, and then sit in that old same place again. So that image will not go until you can make some move here. Until you can prove me wrong with your words and actions. And just words won't be sufficient. There is action that is required here. That's your message, Divine Feminine. Just words won't be sufficient enough to get over this image. You need to see some kind of action before you believe that this man is completely serious about your situation in this journey with you. Okay, wow. Let's see the challenges, guys. What is the challenge for the Divine Masculine? The Hanged Man, yeah, this is his challenge. He's the Neptune ruler of enlightenment for sure. But this is also becoming his challenge because he's not being able to move. Right? He's hanging upside down. He has learned too much now. He has gained too much of information. And that is the challenge when you gain too much of information, when you become too educated, and you're still not being able to do anything about it. It's obviously a challenge, right? Because you're not being able to put your work into the main part of the story. You're not being able to work on that education, or that knowledge, or that spiritual growth that you have received. So your challenge is that you have become a lot more enlightened, even spiritually, but you're not being able to move. It's becoming a challenge because when, like I said, when you don't know anything, ignorance is bliss, right? People might call you illiterate, people might call you, oh, you are stupid. That's fine, but that's not a challenge because you know you don't have the knowledge or the wisdom otherwise. But when you are enlightened about some situation in your life, and when you gain the wisdom from that enlightenment and you happen to know a lot more than what you had known before, then hanging upside down or suspending anything or pausing anything is definitely a challenge. So that's a challenge. Please talk to me about the Hanged Man here. The King of Fire. That's the King of Wand energy, right? Which is talking about Mars. He wants to be energetic. He wants to be active. He wants to be the leader. He is impatient because he has grown spiritually and it's becoming a challenge to stay in that position for him. Stuck. It's a challenge. Because he's the emperor too, right? So as the emperor, he is also becoming more independent in his thinking, just like the Queen of Wand. He's becoming more aggressive in his power, in his thought. That is also a challenge. Because when all these things, when all these energies are combining together, it makes you impatient as well. Because it's bringing a lot of assertiveness into yourself with a lot of spiritual growth, right? Because you want to initiate something and you're not being able to initiate that, you're stuck, and that's a challenge. With the King of Wand or the Emperor energy, it's becoming a challenge because right now you want to initiate, or going forward, you want to do a lot of things. There is not just, just being stuck in a place is not your priority anymore. You want to work. Some of you want to probably go back to work. Some of you probably want to start a new business. Some of you probably want to relocate, whatever that situation is, because there is a lot of assertiveness that is growing within you as a part of your enlightenment, as a part of your spiritual understanding. And that's becoming a challenge for you because you are becoming impatient to move in a different way or in a different direction. So that's your challenge, where universe is not letting you move at this point in time. That's definitely a challenge. So there are two energies that is clashing with one another here. One is that of the Hanged Man, the other is that of the Emperor or the King of Wand, right? Aries, cardinal sign of fire. These two energies are absolutely directly opposite to one another in their nature, in their understanding, in everything. So, when somebody is made to stay back or hold back against their will, when they have the drive to do a lot, they want to go out and do a lot, it becomes a challenge for that person or for that energy to be patient with anything in their life. What is your challenge, Divine Feminine? The Queen of Cups, yeah. Your challenge is this unconditional love, right? Your challenge is to look after yourself, because it also could be that you have given too much of emotions away and you have neglected yourself. Right? Your challenge is to trust this man again. Yeah, that is your challenge. Your challenge is to retain your dreams in the cup that you're holding, knowing that you will get back your dreams in the right way one day. You have a lot of dreams, right? So your challenge is looking after your own care, about your own need as well. Your challenge is accepting this man and the trust in this connection, for sure. So that is your challenge. And this man's challenge, now look at the situation here, guys. This man's challenge is more frustrating. It's because he's not being able to come forward and show the real power for whatever reason. It could be a physical distance, it could be anything between the two of you. So his challenge is to prove himself that he can do a lot than what you have taught him to be from that fox. But the problem with him is that he's not being able to come forward and he's left suspended here. Right? And your challenge is this wait time. Your challenge is looking after yourself. Your challenge is believing or having back the trust in the divine masculine. Let's look at the Queen of Cups. Yeah, destiny, spirituality. You're going through a lot of trial. That's your challenge. To get over this time period. Because you're also a lot of spirituality in yourself too, guys. Just like him. Both of you guys are growing very, very spiritually in yourself at the same time. So both this growth of spiritualism in both of you is becoming a challenge for both of you as well, because you're understanding a lot more for yourself than what you had done before. With your destiny, about your karma, about the divine timing, about the divine guidance, about your fate, right? So that's a challenge for you to keep your head above the water with your emotional part of the story in balance as you guys are going through this period of change in this journey, right? So both of you guys have got different kind of challenges, but both you guys are very, very spiritually coming to the point of understanding a lot of things together. That is making the divine masculine frustrated because he's not being able to act upon that. And for you, your emotions have gone through a lot of trials. So your challenge is to retain your emotions in the right possible place, not letting it go. Looking after yourself, looking after your emotions, being kind, having back that unconditional love, being generous, keeping your heart open, right? Keeping your heart open because of the situation here. That's your challenge, guys. So both you guys are very spiritually drawn to one another. There's a lot more spirituality that I see than I've ever seen before. But again, with that spirituality comes a lot of trial, comes a lot of impatience, because both you guys want to prove that the time is, that you're waiting for the time to come to you when both you guys can prove to one another what you actually be for one another in the right spiritual way, because this is a spiritual connection. I've been saying that from day one. Okay. Next part of the story is what is the hope the divine masculine has in this connection. What is he hoping for? The moon. Yeah, so he's hoping that you will understand him. He's hoping that you will know him, understand him. You will understand why he did what he did. Okay? He's hoping that you will receive that enlightenment, spiritual enlightenment from the universe, to understand about his fears, about the illusions, about the misinterpretations in life that he had in this journey. So he is hoping to clear that secret. He's hoping that you understand how much he loves you in reality, though he hasn't said it, right? So he's hoping that you will understand him better than what you have done before. Let's look at the Moon card. Yeah, he's hoping that you will forgive him. He's hoping that you will believe what he has to say. He's hoping that you will understand that even though he hasn't talked about his feelings for you, he's hoping that you will understand the depth of his feelings he has towards you, right? With this fireworks, the passion and the chemistry that he's holding for you guys. Divine Feminine. So he's hoping that you understand this. That just because he hasn't spoken about it or that he hasn't talked about it, it doesn't mean that he doesn't have that passion for you. It doesn't mean that the fireworks are over. It doesn't mean the chemistry is done with. There is a lot of chemistry, passionate chemistry, still very much intact. He loves you like crazy, guys. He yearns for you, let me tell you that, even physically. Even physically. So he's hoping that even though you guys are at a distance, he's hoping that you will understand how much he wants you, how much he yearns for you, how exhilarated he feels by just maybe, looking at your pictures or hearing, or getting a text from you. There's a lot of chemistry between the two of you. So he's hoping that you understand that this chemistry will never die out. Will never die out. This is a different kind of explosion or cosmic explosion in this situation here. What is that you are hoping for, Divine Feminine? Let's say here. The Four of Pentacles, but then this situation is the Sun in Capricorn. You're hoping for this situation to get over. Okay? You're hoping that this man comes out of his insecurity and fear. You're hoping that he can open up and tell you the truth. Because, like I said, he's hoping that you understand, even though he's hiding the truth from you. But he's hoping that you understand the amount of fireworks that is there in this particular situation. And you're hoping, guys, that he can come out of that stuck situation and talk to you. Make things very clear. You're hoping that he comes out of that fear and insecurity of money, of anything that has been in him for a long time, where he has neither been growing nor receding in his life. You're hoping that he can come out of that place of stuck situation and make things better in this journey between the two of you. Please talk to me about the Four of Pentacles, please. Yeah, you're hoping for a change of this stuck situation. The Four of Pentacles. Even in yourself, even in this, more so in the Divine Masculine's life. You're hoping something will happen, something drastic will happen, right? Something very drastic will happen in his life that will allow him to move out of that stuck situation. Stallion. Yeah, you want him to come forward now. You want him to break free. You want him to, as he is, see, he has a lot of chemistry, passion, urge, lust, explosive, hot sex, everything. All those energies are there. And he's hoping that you understand how much he craves for you, right? And you are hoping that he breaks free from the stuck energy and comes to you with a lot of drive. with a lot of sexual. Both you guys are hoping for some kind of sexual part of the story here. I don't know what's going on, guys. I think, yeah, there is a lot of intimacy you are hoping that happens soon. And physical intimacy, right? You want him to break free from that energy of being stuck and come towards you with this commitment, see? To reawaken the lost hopes and desires, to manifest back the deep desire that can happen only with some kind of physical intimacy between the two of you, with the divine feminine, the subconscious or the moon energy. This is the subconscious or the moon. Again, there is a lot of mirroring here, right? You want a lot of romance. You want a lot of affection. You want a lot of sensuality, divine feminine, that you are wanting this man to come forward and give it to you. Even physical intimacy here too. Yeah, even physical intimacy too, guys. So both you guys are hoping for the same thing and hoping that both of you guys are stuck, but you'll understand each other. Right? And both you guys are hoping for things to move out so that y'all can move together and do something better with your life. You're tired of staying like this. That's what I'm getting. Okay, anyways, the last part, guys, is the overall energy of the divine masculine. What's the overall energy? Knight of Wands. Okay. He could come charging in, guys. That's the overall energy. He wants to come charging in. Because I think this physical part of the story is building back a lot of, is building back a lot of drive again within him. Yeah. I'm not saying he is going to come back in the player's energy. I'm not saying that. Because for me, people talk about this card as a player's energy. But for me, this player's energy is if this card had been reversed. This is a different kind of a passion. This is a different kind of a drive that I'm getting as a part of the overall energy. Let's see here. Please talk to me about the Knight of Wands. Because now he's frustrated. It's becoming a challenge for him to keep waiting like this. He can't do this. He can't. Yeah, see, the World. Yeah, the Wine. There are a lot of things he has learned over time. He has matured. He has developed. He is ripened. And then you have the World. There is a completion of cycle here. With regards to what happened before is what I'm getting. There is a completion of what had developed over time or what had matured over time before. There is a completion of cycle towards his other boundaries in life, towards the other restrictions in life that had developed over time or that had ripened over time, right? So there is a completion of a cycle, which is what the overall energy is telling me, that he wants to come back and be the inspired Knight of Wands in your life once again in the right way. Bring back that sense of explosion. Bring back that sense of passion and chemistry in your life. And he's hoping that you understand that it's just a matter of time before he comes galloping back into your life. But before he does that, guys, he has to complete a cycle that has been sitting with him, has become old, has been sitting with him for a long time. So before he comes back to you, he has to finish that restriction. He has to finish those boundaries that he had put up in his life, the responsibility, the duty that he had over his shoulders, you know, to come back into this energy. He will have to finish the last cycle of his life when he is free, right? When he's free and is able to come back to you in this explosive energy that he has not been telling you, but he is holding it in himself. He has not been telling you that, but he is hoping that telepathically you will understand why this wait time is in here, because of this situation here. What is the overall energy you have, Divine Feminine? The Tower. Holy moly. So there is a change, a shift. There is a change, a shift that either you're bringing or the universe is bringing here. Please talk to me about the Tower here, please. He's got the world and you've got the Tower. So both you guys are going through some kind of shift in your life here. Please talk to me about the Tower here. Confidence, yeah. Stamina. Believe in your power. So whatever had been pulling you down, guys, Divine Feminine, whatever had been pulling you down, you're walking away from that. You're gaining back your confidence. You're gaining back your power, your freedom, and your stamina to believe in your power, guys. To believe in your power. So your overall energy is a complete wholesome, excuse me, is a complete wholesome change towards your freedom. Okay, so both you guys, there is some kind of completion here. And we'll check your reading once again after the Lionsgate portal to know more about it. But in the meantime, enjoy this reading, guys. Leave me with your comments and we'll keep checking. Till then, goodbye, God bless, Khuda Hafiz, Namaste.